when I was young, I used to read all these publications from Ramakrishna Mission, Udbodhan Card Chaloy, from Gold Park, Ramakrishna Mission, all these literatures and Vedanta, Gita, Chandi, particularly Upanishad. One story I like particularly is that of Kathopanishad. Right? I had this book, a set of 3 books about Upanishads. So the story of Kathopanishad goes like this. Long time ago, there was a great sage named Vishwajit. He was son of Bajasrava. And he organized a lavish yajna. And as a part of that rituals, he was offering to all the Brahmanas gifts, cows, horses, chariots. Vishwajit had a son. His name was Nachiketa. So Nachiketa was watching his father giving away all these cows and gifts to the Brahmins. And he thought, well, I also belong to my father. Who is he going to give me to? So he walked up to his father and said, Father, you are giving away all these cows and all these gifts. Who are you gifting me to? Biswajit did not have any desire of giving away his son. So he kept quiet. He did not answer. So Nachiketa asked again, Father, who are you gifting me to? Again, Biswajit was silent. But Nachiketa was persistent, so he asked a third time, who are you gifting me to? By that time, Biswajit was angry. He was irritated. And he said, I'm gifting you to Yamraj. He wanted to mean that I am sending you to die. But Nachiketa, being Nachiketa, he said, well, if my father wishes me to go to Yamraj, I should go to Yamraj. So he walked up to Yamalaya to meet Yamraj. But Yamraj was not there in Yamalaya at that time. So he was waiting. He was waiting for 3 days for Yamraj. And of course, because he was waiting there to serve Yamraj, he was fasting. He didn't take any food. So after 3 days, Yamraj came, and his attendants was very ashamed and said, look, there's a Brahman waiting for you for 3 days, and he did not eat for 3 days. Please attend to him quickly. So Yamraj felt very bad. He ran up to Nachiketa and said, well, I'm very sorry. You had to wait for 3 days and you were fasting. You were a Brahman. So I will wish you 3 boons for your 3 days of fasting. Nachiketa said, it's not a problem at all. I mean, I was just waiting. But if you really mean to give me 3 boons, I will take them. So Yamraj said, what will be your first boon? So he said, well, you see, my father must be feeling bad by sending me to you as kind of sending me to die. And I don't want him to feel bad. So in my first boon, I request you to make him feel easy and not make him feel guilty and remorse. Yamraj says, no problem at all. I mean, you came to me. You are such a great man. You are a Brahmin, and there is no reason for Biswajit to feel bad about him sending you to me. It's fine. I will make sure that he lives happy and he doesn't have any remorse. Then he said, what will have you as your second boon? Nachiketa said, well, I mean, here I am in front of you. You are one of the greatest gods in the world, and in a second boon I want your blessing and best wishes. goodwill. So Yamraj said again, it's not a problem at all. You are such a great man. You came to me. Of course, you have my blessings and my goodwill. No problem. And because you are so nice and not asking anything stupid, I'll grant you a fourth boon. And in that fourth boon, I will make sure that that you become immortal. And here is how subsequent yogyas, people have to make a Nachiket Agni. I mean, the fire, they have to organize the fires, the bricks, and the woods in a certain manner. It will be called a Nachiket fire. And everybody has to perform that for every yajna. And that will make you immortal. You will become immortal by the name of that fire, Nachiket Agni. Nachiket said, great. So then Jamraj said, what will take you as your third boon? So Nachiket said, well, here I am. You are the most knowledgeable man in the world, and I want to know about Atma Tattva. Who we are, where do we come from, where do we go when we die? What does it mean to have incarnation? And that is all I want to know. And Yamraj was shocked, and he said, look, these are very secret knowledges. These are not meant for ordinary people, definitely not meant for ordinary mortals like you. I mean, very few gods know Atma Tattva. Only me and very few. So please don't ask to understand this very secret and well-kept knowledge. Ask for something else. I'll give you anything. I mean, look, whatever you ask for, you can live as long as you want. You can have all the pleasures in this world, palaces, chariots, beautiful girls. They will come and sing and apsaras and dance for you, and ask for any earthly pleasures. I will grant you that. Plus, please don't ask for this. Nachiket said, well, what am I going to do all this stuff? I mean, I indulge in these earthly pleasures, sex, food, pleasure of company, and then what happens? I die and come back to you and ask the same question. Only thing that will happen is I'll postpone this journey by a few earthly years. It's not going to change anything. So no, I don't want any earthly pleasures. I don't want any gifts. I want this gift of knowledge. If you provide me, great, or you can refuse me. That's your choice. Of course, Jamraj cannot refuse a Brahmin, particularly who is fasting and whom he himself has granted the boon. So he had to relent. He agreed. And he said, well, Nachiketa, I will teach you Atma Tattva. I will explain what happens when you die, what is incarnation, where you come from. But it's a long process, and you have to go through this entire process of meditation, yajna, purification. And that's when Kathopanishad starts, and that's when I lose the story, because me being an atheist, subsequent explanation does not make much sense to me, because you require a unwavering faith in God, in Brahma, in everything, to be able to even make sense out of this knowledge. And I know none, so I don't understand the remainder of it. But what I do like are the questions. The questions are very much valid, right? I mean, these basic, fundamental existential questions. Who we are, where do we come from, why are we here, where do we go? These questions are asked by men from time immemorial, from anywhere in the world, wherever you go. These questions do pop up because it's the most natural question to ask. And human being endeavor to answer them in different forms, in scientifically, through philosophy, through religion, spirituality. And none of them is really a satisfactory answer. I mean, it depends on the recipient, how far deep does the answer go, or how far is the acceptability to those answers. But none of them really actually explains fully these questions. For example, if you are a scientific guy like me, science will try to explain existence through Big Bang or multiverse or singularity. how time started and how the universe started with time and so on and so forth. But you still have lingering questions, right? Particularly moral questions and so on. And if you are philosophers, similar attempts were made to answer through epistemology, through metaphysics. And of course, if it's religious, then it's the most probably it goes the deepest. I mean, it's probably easiest to grasp. I mean, particularly among all these answers, among all the different religions, I think Kathopanishad goes the deepest. If you are a believer, and if you read this, you probably will get the most satisfactory answers to these existential questions. So please do read it. I mean, even if you don't believe in anything, it is worth exploring. And what is most rewarding is the beauty of the language. The poetry is sublime. And I had this CD from again Ramakrishna Mission, a recitation by Sarvagananda. The CD I bought, I think somewhere in America during all those puja festivals. And I had that CD, and I used to listen to that in the car, particularly when I was in Canada and I was alone. And I used to travel around during those dark, rocky mountains, majestic mountains, snow-covered peaks and dark forests, valleys, beautiful valleys. And I used to drive around alone because I had no friends, nobody. And I used to listen the chanting of this Kathopanishad. And it's just ecstatic, the feeling. I didn't understand most of it, of course. It's in Sanskrit and I don't know that language that well. I mean, you get one's little sense of it, but it transports you to a different world. The music of it alone. I'll put a link of that recitation by Sarvagananda in the description. To listen to it. It is just incredibly beautiful. And again, do read the book if you get a chance. From particularly this version from Ramakrishna Mission. It's very accessible to the extent possible. Not to me, to a non-believer, but at least to have any if you have any spiritual leaning, you will probably get most of it. Thanks for watching.